What if your current challenge is actually the greatest opportunity for you to grow? I know it can be hard or controversial for some people to accept this idea, but please hear me out. Maybe it will resonate with you as well. Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Uliana, and today I want to talk to you about something that, again, maybe sound provocative for some people or hard to even accept. The idea is your hardest challenge, your biggest struggle at the moment can actually be your greatest, grandest opportunity to grow. So what I want you to do, please, pause this video just in a second and look at your life. Look and assess your life, and maybe you have a reoccurring challenge or reoccurring circumstances or outcomes of different situations with the same outcome that you've been experiencing in your life repeatedly. For example, maybe you have a hard time building relationship either with friends or a romantic relationship, or maybe your challenge is to stick to your fitness goal. Like you promised yourself that you're gonna go to the gym 3 times a week and you keep failing to keep that promise to yourself. So that's really big challenge. Or maybe your challenge is to keep arguing with your loved ones, like with your partner or with your kids. And sometimes subject of that argument, it doesn't even matter. What matters that aftermath of that argument, you feel guilty, you really regret what you said, and you promise yourself every time that you're gonna change, but nothing really changes, and you keep seeing this situation reoccurring again with different people but the same outcome. I think by now you got the idea that really big challenge, the struggle in your life that keep happening, reoccurring in your life consistently. So now we understand that even though all of those outcomes that we experience from different situations that are challenging for us, the situations are different, but the outcomes, it's always the same. The outcomes that we feel not good about ourselves or our life, we cannot really move forward with our life if you feel bad about this challenging situation in your life. But what if we're gonna look at this challenging situation through the lens of growing opportunity? You know, lately I've been reflecting a lot and reading a lot, and I realize that all of my challenging situation, it's an opportunity again for me to evolve as a person, evolve as a soul, to remember who I am when I am inside of that challenge situation. Because if you think about it, if we are in stagnant place in our life, which is it's kind of what we're striving for. We're striving for that comfort zone, right? But where is the growth in that stagnant place? For example, if you want to grow your muscles and you go to the gym and you work out with the weights, how you grow your muscle? You actually tear down your muscles to make them stronger. So at the moment when you do that squats or deadlift, it's so hard. You want to quit and you want to puke probably. But you know that in the future, this very challenging and most of the time such a hard thing that you're doing right now, it actually will benefit you in the future. Another example, butterfly. You guys know, right, that caterpillar has to use so much strength and force to get out from that cocoon to become the butterfly. And if someone will help the caterpillar to open the cocoon, the caterpillar will not kind of have enough strength to have wings and to fly. So the caterpillar has to go to that process of hard process of tearing down the cocoon to become butterfly. Or another quick example, let's say, can you imagine if we would go to school and stay in first grade forever? Because when we just started first grade, it was very hard for us, but then we learn and then we move to the second grade. And whatever we learn in the first grade, it's easy for us now, but the second grade is hard. And that's how we learn and go from school to college and university. But can you imagine again, if you stay in first grade forever, never learning, never challenging yourself, where is the growth there? Like, who would we be as a society? Now you understand And now I understand that that challenging situation, it is indeed opportunity for you to grow. You just have to look at it from that point of view. And a lot of big thinkers were having the same idea about the struggle. Great Emperor Marcus Aurelius actually said, obstacle is the way. By the way, if you haven't read Meditations by Marcus Aurelius, highly recommend. And Ryan Holiday actually wrote the whole book called Obstacle is the Way. So if you are right now have a very challenging situation and you need support or some inspiring stories, I will highly recommend this book. A lot of examples from the book shows how you can use that obstacle, that challenge, indeed, to grow, to learn, to move forward with your life. Okay, so by now we understand and we got it. The challenge is the way. The challenge is an opportunity for growth. But what do we do next? We have to become conscious of two things. We have to assess who we are right now, and that will be equal who I am no longer want to be. And then we have to define who I want to be when this challenging situation gonna appear again in my life. So the first step, again, assess your personality, especially in the moments of challenge. So let's say your challenge is sticking to the fitness routine. Like you promised you're gonna work out 3 times a week. You did the first time, the second time something came up. I don't know, you were busy, headache, belly ache, whatever it is. Whatever your excuse was. I'm not saying that those were not true, but at this moment, ask yourself, is this the person I want to be? Is this the personality that will achieve that goal that I set to myself? And you do this conversation inside your head. Nothing gonna hear you, but deep down, you know the true answer. You know that the answer is no. It's not who I want to be. And this personality right now who's making all of these excuses will not gonna achieve that goal that I set up for myself. And from there you say, okay, so this is who I don't want to be, but who I want to be. So step 2 is decide who you want to be as a person in that challenging situation. So coming back to our fitness example, now you're gonna say, I'm gonna put these 3 workouts a week my highest priority. So if my friend's gonna call me, my coworker's gonna ask me to go out, I am busy. That's my priority. And you might see that your friends again, or coworkers, or your loved ones are gonna say, what? It is more important for you to go work out or spend time with your kids or your husband? And you're gonna say, yes. At this point of life, until I reach that goal that I set for myself, this is my highest priority. And also understand, this goal, this priority is not forever. It's just a season of your life. So sometimes you can shift your priorities. Sometimes you can put your social life on the second plan until you do something else that's your priority for this moment, at this period in your life. Great. So now we know who we no longer want to be, and we decide who we want to be. And now you have to have some kind of daily practices, reminders to stick with it, to remind you in a challenging situation, especially that, hey, you are changing right now. You are not longer anymore that person. You decided you're changing. So step 3 is create daily practices and accountability. If we're going back to our fitness goal again, if you can hire a trainer just for the first couple of sessions, or maybe you can go to the gym with your friends or your partner. So somebody who gonna ask you, hey, Uliana, you remember that we have a session today? I'm waiting for you. That accountability, it's really, really helping in a challenging situation on a beginning when you do need that support and help. Or let's say another example, if you're challenged situation that you overstepping when you are arguing with your partner, for example, ask him in the moment when you are not arguing, when everything's great, and say, hey babe, I know that sometimes I overstep when we argue. Can you please gently let me know when I start overstepping, when we start arguing? And then In the moment of arguing, if your partner is supportive, and I hope your partner is supportive, he or she can tell you, hey, Uliana, you kind of start overstepping. You remember you told me that I have to tell you if I kind of feel that, so you're doing this right now. Now I know that in a moment it might be not what you want to hear, but that's gonna bring you awareness right away because you ask for that, and inside you're gonna be like, okay, yes, I did overstep, so thank you for telling me. You might not say him or her thank you right away, right there, but inside of you, it was brought to your attention that you're doing this thing again, you overstepping again, and later you're gonna regret. And lastly, you have to stick with it and be consistent. I once read that the master is the one who responds to the same situation in the same way every time. But the student is the one who today responds to the situation with anger, frustration, tomorrow with love and kindness, day after tomorrow, the third day, again with anger. That inconsistency, it's what makes them student, but not the master. But I want to warn you guys, do not expect to change your behavior in 2 weeks. If for the past 15 years, 20 years, 30 years, you've been reacting one way, you have that program wired in your brain. You cannot expect to change in 2 weeks, in 3 weeks, in 1 month. So you have to put your effort in it. Leave sticky notes, read the books, put some inspiring quotes everywhere, on your phone, on your nightstand. You have to keep reminding yourself that you are in a process of change. You are changing. And I completely understand why we are so frustrated if the change is not happening fast enough for us. Because right now we live in a world where we have same-day delivery, where we have instant gratification all the time. But this is different. Right now we are talking about your sanity, about your relationship with yourself and with the world, and that change cannot be delivered overnight. And that's it for today's video. Thank you very much for watching. I hope the concept resonates with you. I just ask you one thing: take a little bit of time of your life and sit down and reflect on your recent challenge situation. Who are you being there? How are you reacting? And maybe if you tweak thing or two of who you are at that moment or how you react to it, maybe it will lower the severity of the challenge just a little bit. Thank you very much again. Have a great day, have a great life, and I see you in my next video.